television time remaining. Introducing first in the corner to my right, first, the leader of the Four Horsemen, James J. Dillon. And he brings to the ring two of the Four Horsemen at 260 pounds. From Minnesota, the enforcer, Arn Anderson. His partner weighs 236 pounds. From San Antonio, Texas, Tully Blanchard. And their opponents in the corner to my left. First at 282 pounds. From the University of Oklahoma, Steve Dr. Death Williams. And from Sweetwater, Texas, at 251 pounds, Barry Windham. This match, one fall or television time remaining.
And this is our main event, and we'll have it. Don't you dare go away right after this timeout. This is the main event. Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson against Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Barry Windham. And Peter, there's no doubt we're looking at four of the greatest athletes in our sport.
What a main event it's going to be, Tony. You've got Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. They still believe that they are the best tag team in the world. All you got to do is talk to them, and they display that also inside the ropes. They know that in order to stay on top, in order to prove their point, they've got to beat Steve Dr. Death Williams and Barry Windham, two sensational athletes.
Dr. Death went to the floor. Look, Arn Anderson met him head on as it came back in. Both men offensive wrestlers, no doubt. And the dog staggers out, comes right back in one more time. But they're going at it toe-to-toe. The left hand, though, not facing Steve Williams. A right hand. Back goes Arn Anderson to a neutral corner. And the dog clubs him to the side of the head. Now Blanchard's in. Wyndham's in. And it's all four in. We are less than a minute into the match.
Well, this match means a lot to both teams, and you're going to see all four men putting all out. And Steve Dr. Williams trying to set up on Anderson, and a beautiful wallop by Barry Windham. And watch Steve Dr. Death up in the air, Tony. What strength! They toppled him to the mat. And Steve Dr. Williams proving his point that he can pick up his opponent and crush him. Now Tully Blanchard up high in the air into the light, so to speak, and crashing down on the mat.
The Doc. He lifted up Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson rolled out of the ring. He had to get away from it all. And now Blanchard slides out. So early on, the team of Windham and Williams, certainly with the advantage, you see Blanchard and you see Arn Anderson. You know, as far as tag teams are concerned, Peter, the team with the most experience together is Blanchard and Anderson.
That's correct, and Dr. Death and Barry Hoofdorf set that advantage held by the Four Horsemen by their sheer athletic ability. When you talk about athletic ability, you're talking Steve Dr. Death Williams. Oklahoma football coach Barry Switzer still talks of him being one of the greatest football players that ever played for him, including his attitude. And when he played that offensive line for Oklahoma Sooners, he cleared big paths for those All-American running backs. He was All-American in Oklahoma, but also, Tony, people who may have followed him in the collegiate ranks, what a tremendous wrestler he was in the collegiate ranks as well. He measured in both sports.
Right hand just sitting Blanchard around the seat of his pants. And Blanchard, you know, even though we saw the Horsemen get out of the ring and we see Blanchard backing up, they are masters at being able to dictate the pace of the match. And that's what they've been doing, even though most of the offensive moves have been from Williams and Windham, the pace has been dictated by the Horsemen.
You're exactly right. And even though Dr. Death and Barry got the upper hand there, you always know the Four Horsemen are always in control. As if they're thinking 2 steps, 3 steps, maybe 5 steps ahead of their opponent. But right now, Tully Blanchard better be thinking of getting out of that ring because Barry Windham wallop with that right, setting him up in a high driving drop kick. Every time I watch Barry Windham get up in the air like that, it amazes me. A man of that size able to get up with that agility.
There's nobody as agile, 6'5" in the world as Barry Windham. And Windham goes right after Blanchard. Smartly, though, backs up after the tag had been made. Now, we're going to see Arn Anderson, as you can see, favoring that left arm. When the doc dropped him down, he hit right on his shoulder, so that may hinder him. Now, that left arm is one of his best weapons. Left-handed puncher. Let's see what happens. They tie up, right to a side headlock goes Barry Windham. Windham and Anderson. These two men know each other quite well. Over the top goes Windham. One more time as Blanchard goes, or making Anderson goes down. Reversal. Both men try to hip toss. Neither one effective. Reversal here. Who's going to get the backslide? It's going to be Windham. A 2 count and a right hand decking. Perfect timing by Barry Windham.
What a wallop. You heard this throughout the Greenwood Civic Center, and Arn Anderson felt it. He's going to remember that wallop way into next week. But before we saw exchanges of counters, that's one of the great things about professional wrestling and wrestling as a sport, Tony. For every move, there's a counter, and sometimes there's a counter to a counter. And that time we saw 2 experienced veterans counter each other's move, but then Barry Windham was able to master the backslide. But I tell you, that wallop still has Arn Anderson thinking about whether he wants to hook up Barry Windham or not.
Windham would not go in the corner. Anderson brought him there. Now Windham fighting out both men. Elbow that time, cleared Anderson. Here comes Blanchard, and the doc steps in. So we're at a stalemate.
So the 4 horsemen outside the ring, and you see James J. Dillon telling Tully Anderson and Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, these guys can't hurt us. But James J. Dillon's not in the ring.
Back into the ring they go now, both men.
5 minutes have elapsed. 5 minutes have elapsed.
At the 5-minute mark, it has been 5 action-packed, furious minutes.
Barry Windham now signaling Arn Anderson to get away from that corner. Barry fully realizes the situation. He gets too close to that corner of the 4 horsemen. He's in serious trouble.
Head scissors from Windham. Come on! 9 minutes remaining in the TV time limit, Peter. 9 minutes to go. With TV time remaining, of course, for our main event matches. And right now, Anderson is in a position where he really can't get out of, but he had a count on Windham. Windham moved out of the way.
And Anderson went in the wrong corner, and he paid for that mistake. And one wallop after another, and Anderson does a smart thing. He tags Tully, but Tully's not too anxious to get in the ring, and I don't blame him a bit. Barry Windham and Steve Dr. Dwayne's on a roll. You see Tully, he wants a little time. Let Barry Windham just cool down a little bit before he steps inside those ropes.
All right, Tommy Young wanting Blanchard to get in. Windham does also. Windham not having many years, but he gets Blanchard in the hard way. Over the top of the rope, and he decked him again. What a right hand. Here comes Windham after Blanchard.
Well, they run right past us, Tony. Barry does not want to give Tony any moment to rest, and he doesn't. One wallop after another. Barry Windham is literally lowering the boom on the 4 horsemen.
Side headlock. Over the ropes one more time. Down goes Blanchard, and they collide. Both men hit very hard. And onto the concrete floor goes Barry Windham. The great equalizer, the concrete floor. He hit very hard. Back of his head that time.
Tough break for Barry Windham and Dr. Death. It was Barry toppled out of the ring onto the concrete floor. Tully was fortunate enough to land back in the ring, but nevertheless took a beating with that head-on collision. Now you see Anderson into the ring post. The referee is over there talking to Dr. Death, and Arn Anderson took full advantage of the situation.
Said it so many times, outside the post, the horseman area.
Now, vicious kick that time by Tully Blanchard. And Barry Windham trying to stagger up, get back into the ring, and Arn Anderson now wants to quickly get Barry back in the ring. And I tell you, Tony, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, this is their first real big opening in the match, and they're not about to let it pass by.
Right onto the arm now. Windham up against the ropes, and Blanchard got the shot in. And once again, Windham goes to the floor. Blanchard came off and hit him from the apron right down to the floor. One more time, the posts. More. He bypassed it, went right to that steel fence around the ring.
Well, the entire complexion of this match has changed in just a matter of seconds. It's Tully, Blanchard, and Arn Anderson now keeping the pressure on Barry Windham. They want to make sure Barry is not able to get into the corner and tag his partner, Dr. Death, who is more than ready to get in the ring. What a competitor Dr. Death is, along with his teammate, Barry Windham. And Tully now, look how he made sure he didn't get over in that corner.
Windham trying to crawl over. He was so close that time to a tag, but didn't get there. And now, with the arm pulled behind the back of Windham, Arn Anderson slams the man hard to the mat. There's your trademark. Anderson trademark, and the knee hit hard on that left shoulder. Windham, you can hear him screaming in pain that time. Right under the shoulder. Anderson has it cinched in, and he feels, I'm sure right now, that victory is just moments away.
I tell you, the four horsemen brag a lot when they step inside the ring. They tell their opponent, be prepared to come to school. And Tony, that's the truth. When the opponents go up against the four horsemen, they get an education inside that ring. They may not like it, but they do receive an education.
Come on! Pulling now with a hammerlock, Arn Anderson. Windham looking around, trying to get out. Oh, he nailed it with an elbow. One more time against the side of their head. Windham so close to a tag. But no, it was Blanchard that cut him off, and credit Arn Anderson with holding the man in also.
But Arn made sure Tully was in full control before he got out of the ring. That's teamwork. May not like it, may be controversial, but it's teamwork.
5 minutes of television time remain.
We have
5 minutes remain.
Here, 5 minutes remaining in the TV time limit of this event. And it's been an action-packed 10 minutes, I'll tell you, between these two teams. Now, nationwide TV, no titles are on the line, but these two teams with a lot of animosity there, knowing they're on nationwide TV, and how important would this win be for either team? Major important.
A good move by Tully. He's staying after that left arm and shoulder, Tony.
Still hooking into Windham. Pulling now. That left arm, as you see the pain on the face of the youngster out of Sweetwater, Texas. Barry Windham. Who says, no, I will not give, as Tommy Young was checking in. Blanchard really knows how to apply the pressure.
Come on! 4 minutes of television time remain in this match. 4 minutes remain.
You heard Jim Ross tell us 4 minutes. And now, seemingly the horsemen smelling the kill right here.
They sure are, and Anderson trying to set Barry up. Barry over the top, and a vicious kick to the midsection. Oh, what a move by Arn Anderson.
DDT at the 4-minute mark, actually about 3.5. Here it is. He can't get him over, but now he finally does. 2, no, only a 2 count.
I tell you, when you talk about intestinal fortitude, we just witnessed a great sign of determination by Barry Windham. Most men would have been down for the count, and the match would have been history, but Barry Windham is not ready to call it quits yet, and Steve Dr. Williams is still waiting outside the ring for his opportunity.
Elbow, back to a neutral corner. Windham shot to the other side. Windham comes over the side, body block. A 2 count, and that was so close. You saw JJ in the back.
3 minutes remain. 3 minutes of television time remain in this match.
JJ literally came out of his shoes right there. He thought it might have been over like that also. But now it's Anderson getting pummeled in the neutral corner by Barry Windham. Under 3 minutes to go in this main event. Right to a knee. One step ahead. The horseman again.
Well, Barry Windham should have gone to the corner and tagged Dr. Death, but Barry Windham, that competitive spirit in him, is staying right after the four horsemen. And Arn Anderson now on top of him, slapping that sleep hold on him. And Barry needs to get help, and he needs to get over in Dr. Death's corner.
What a great move by Anderson. When he's up top like that and Barry's coming up, he's in a vulnerable position. He went right to the eyes and now has the sleeper holder on. Right on the head of Windham. How long can Windham take it? You see, sorry, Peter, you see the doc in the corner. He wants to get in.
Arn Anderson was pulling it to him, and Barry Windham, 2
minutes remain of television time. 2 minutes left to the match.
Just 2 minutes, that's still plenty of time for these athletes, Tony. You know, any one of these four men can explode with the right move, the right kick, the right maneuver to score a victory. And Barry Windham now, this crowd starting to come alive, cheering him on. Tully Blanchard into the ring.
Windham, and this is obvious. He desperately needs a tag. He comes over the forearm, but he goes down also. And he's got to go across Blanchard Blanchard. Both men putting their heads together. And irate Dr. Death Steve Williams going right after Anderson in the corner and pummels a member of the Horsemen against the head.
1 minute of television time remains. 1 minute left to the match.
Just 60 seconds left, and you know Steve Dr. Williams is fired up. He's inspired by that out display by Barry Windham of taking on that punishment. Now both men are in the ring, taking on the 4 horsemen, all 4 men. Less than a minute to go. Touch on in a hard slam by both men.
Both men, both the Horsemen down. The Doc had a lot of firepower, but now he's got to pin the man.
30 seconds remain. 30 seconds.
A 2 count, less than 30 seconds now. And now it's nothing but temper carrying away both men.
Dr. Death and Arn Anderson, the legal men in the ring. Barry Windham taking care of Tully Blanchard. Dr. Death, time for
15 seconds.
Get the win.
15 seconds remain.
If the Doc wants to win or if Arn wants to win, they got to do it now. Here's your countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's your bell. Time limit has expired, and it will be a time limit draw between both teams. They're still at it, though. Both teams double teaming Barry Windham. Anderson, Blanchard. Peter, he set him up for it appears to be for a pile driver.
Trying to sit on Dr. Death comes to the rescue, and again looking out for his good friend and his partner Barry Windham. There was not enough time to settle the issue this time. These 2 great teams battled it out, blow for blow, kick for kick.
Time limit draw on our main event. And we'll be back, fans. Don't you dare go away. Time limit draw on our main event here on NWA Main Event. And next week, we talked about the rematch, Sheepherders against Santana and Kendall Windham. But also, Sting will be with us. And in our main event, we are going to see Nikita Koloff take on Al Perez with Gary Hart. That's going to be a phenomenal match.
Severe test for Nikita Koloff. Al Perez comes in with a great reputation, and with Playboy Gary Hart in his corner, that's going to be a tough test for Koloff next week.
And Gary Hart has made some accusations towards Nikita Koloff, so there's some animosity there also. In our main event next week, the Russian Nightmare, Nikita Koloff, will take on Al Perez along with Gary Hart. It should be a great main event. I'd like to thank Peter Burkholz for being with us here today, and hope you will join us next week for the best of the NWA on NWA Main Event.